The Architecture of Stillness. You know, when you hear a title like that, it kind of stops you in your tracks, right? It's more than just a couple of words strung together. It's a promise. It suggests that stillness, that quiet we're all looking for, isn't just something that randomly happens to you. No, it suggests it's something that can be designed, something you can actually build. So the source material we're looking at kicks off with this really powerful, almost intense instruction. Just 3 words: empty your mind. At first glance, that sounds like the end goal, right? The final destination. But what if it's not? What if that's actually the very first step in the construction project, the real beginning? And this really gets to the heart of it all. Is stillness something you find, or is it something you build? I mean, think about how we talk about it. We always say we're finding peace or seeking quiet, like it's some lost treasure we're hoping to just stumble upon. But that one word, architecture, it just throws a wrench in that whole idea. It flips the script and suggests it's a deliberate act, an act of creation. I mean, architecture isn't random, right? You don't just accidentally build a skyscraper. It takes a plan, a blueprint, a conscious, deliberate effort to make something that's stable and has a purpose. So applying that word to stillness, wow, it completely reframes it. It takes it from this passive thing that might happen to us to an active structure that we can build inside ourselves. So let's break this down. There are really 2 kinds of quiet. On one side, you've got what we can call accidental silence. You know the feeling. The kids finally go to sleep, the phone stops buzzing for a minute. It's nice, but it's fleeting. It's passive. It just happens to you. But then, on the other side, you have design stillness. Now that is what we're getting at here. It's lasting because you built it. It's an active process because you maintain it. Big difference. Okay, so if we're on board with this idea, if we accept that stillness is a structure and architecture, then the next logical question is, how do we build it, right? You can't just wish it into existence. We need tools. We need a method. How do you actually start laying the foundation and putting up the walls for this inner sanctuary of yours? And wouldn't you know it, the answer brings us right back to where we started. The source material gives us the method, empty your mind. See? It's not just some vague philosophical command to be quiet. It is the technique. It's the core construction method for building this entire architecture of stillness we're talking about. Okay, but hold on. This is a super important question. What are we actually emptying our minds of? Because that word empty, it can sound a little scary, a little negative, like you're supposed to create a total void, just nothingness. Is that really it? Are we supposed to just switch off our brains? I think there's got to be something more to it.
And here is the absolute key, the big reframe. An empty mind isn't a mind with 0 thoughts. No way. Think of it more like a room. An empty room isn't a demolished building. It's a room that's been decluttered. You're not getting rid of the room itself. You're just clearing out all the junk. You're making space. And it's only in that new, open space that things like clarity and focus and real stillness can finally show up.
So practically speaking, what does this emptying practice look like? Well, it's kind of like a 3-step process. First, you just acknowledge the noise. All the worries, the to-do lists, the random distractions, just notice them. The key is you don't fight them. You just see them for what they are. Step 2, you set a simple intention to create some space around all that noise. And then step 3, you just observe. You watch the stillness that starts to bubble up in that space you've just made.
And right here, this is where it all clicks into place. The 2 big ideas from our source material connect perfectly. The act of emptying your mind, that's the method. That's the work you do. And the stillness that you get from it, that is the architecture. It's the structure you build. One is the how, the other is the what, the action and the result. Simple as that.
So what are the qualities of this inner architecture? What's it actually like inside? Well, for one, it's defined by intention. Because remember, you built this thing on purpose. It brings incredible clarity because all that mental junk is gone. It gives you this powerful sense of focus because your mind isn't being pulled in a million different directions. And most importantly, it creates space. Real mental and emotional room to just breathe, to think, to just be. So you see, that phrase, empty your mind, it totally transforms. It stops being this vague kind of mystical saying and becomes something incredibly practical. It becomes a blueprint, a user's manual for your own inner world, a real set of instructions for designing and building a place of calm and clarity inside yourself that you can go back to whenever you need it.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question. A question for you, really.
Once you've cleared out the clutter and built this beautiful, quiet structure, what are you going to do with all that new space? What new ideas, what creativity, what big questions are you going to invite inside? Because, building the architecture, that's just the beginning. The real adventure starts when you decide what to fill that stillness with.